Okay. So we have a couple things that we can do. We can go to the sand people and give them the Krayt or the pearl, Krayt Pearl. Learn about their history and whatnot, and then kill them all so we get the pearl back. We wipe them out, and then we go into town, take care of a couple of things, and then we're off this planet, basically. So let's see if we can wrap all that stuff up today. That'd be nice, actually. Uh-oh. Not him.
I have to give you credit. You've led me on quite a chase, but nobody gets away from Calo Nord in the end.
I see you brought some backup, Calo. Realized we were a bit too much to handle on your own.
You got lucky on Terrace. The Sith attack saved you from a quick and gruesome death. But I promise you, the Sith won't be getting in my way this time.
Oh man, this is a cool looking shot with the sand kind of moving here. He's talking so we're so it looks like we're so far away, and I doubt he heard anything that Kandra said, and what we can barely hear him. He's not yelling enough, damn it. I suppose there's no way to change your mind about this, is there? You think I got lucky last time? It's time to prove you wrong again. You just traveled a long way. You traveled a long way just to die, Calo.
Let's go, boys. It's showtime.
It's so far away. Look at this. Look at this. So far away. All right, let's see. Let me get a little closer here. Sanity. Let's see how many get affected here. Or we can crowd control a little bit here. I'm just gonna have everyone focus on Calo. There you go, there you go. Okay. Let's do it again. Sanity. Oh, didn't they save that time? Okay. I need to drain some life here. Drain life on you, drain life on you a couple of times. I don't think we can really do anything to Calo, so I'm just going to keep hitting him with Force Lightning. Force Lightning. Oh, we got him. We got him. Drain his life. Drain it all. Whew. Look at our bar here for our horsepower. We were able to do all of that, and it just went down to like right here where we still have more left. That's crazy. It's all that wisdom, boys. All right, what do you got in your body? 2,000 credits, thermal detonator, vibroblade, Arcanian heavy pistol, Zabrak Tystel Mark III, Mark the Third. I wanted to say 3 or third, and I just heard third. Calo Nord's battle armor. Wait, so Calo Nord is actually dead now? We got him. We can take these. We should just let. They should just let us take these speeders into the city. Well, there you have it. Frickin' murdered a man. I think this calls for some celebration here. Let's put that armor on Mr. Canderous here. Medium armor, he gets a +8. The Calo Nord's battle armor has to be higher than an 8. It's a 9. Damage resistance to the cold, fire, sonic. It is upgradable. Commissioned by Calo Nord, this armor was based on the heavily modified Mandalorian designs. The maker was killed to appease Nord's ego, ensuring his suit would forever be unique. Damn, that's cool. I can't wait till we get some actual Mandalorian armor for our buddy Canderous here. This looks dope, though. Damn.
Yes?
I'm freaking jealous. Being a Jedi, you can't really use your powers and have cool looking armor on, so you just gotta wear just plain old robes. Sad, sad day it is. Alright. Let's go ahead and take care of the stuff happening at Sand People Place. Let's take care of that. Wrap up a few more things before we leave the planet. Yeah. There might be some things where we have to come back later for some like side quests and stuff. As with like most planets. Although I don't know if there's any reason to go back to Tatooine or whatever. But usually there's a couple of quests that you'll get later on that are kind of intertwined in some previous planets. But we'll see about that. We'll see. But yeah, I'm pretty excited that we're done with this planet. We can actually go somewhere else that's gonna be better looking. Well, let's go in here. I think I have... I'll check my inventory when I get in there. But I don't know if I have just one Krayt Pearl or do I have 2? Because if I have 2, I mean, I'll still get it back because I think you can use it for making your lightsabers more powerful or whatever. And I'm definitely not about to just hand over a pearl to Sand People. But I was told that you can give it to them and then you can get it back by killing them. So that's what I'm gonna do. Yeah, I have 2 Krayt Dragon Pearls. Upgrade item for a lightsaber. This crystalline pearl appears to have refractory qualities that might allow it to function as a lightsaber crystal once properly adapted. God, we have so many racing bonds. We have 150 of them. I said 80 something earlier. That was a lie. See the chieftain here. Actually, well, I can probably do it without. Well, actually, hang on. Let me exit real fast. For some reason, I can't change my party members in here. Let me go ahead and get rid of Canderous for Bastila. Because Bastila's gonna have... She's gonna have some force powers when we try to murder them all. Defense bonus, Jedi Master Robe. I guess where that is mine +3. Mine's a +2. But I like the dark look instead, so I'll just take the hit for to my defense, I guess. You can do that. Should we have to level her up? So we'll level her up, I guess. Let's see. Right now, her strength is there. Oh yeah, I should probably hang on. I made some notes for when leveling up characters. And let me see if I can access them. See what it says about Bastila. Focus on strength and constitution. Cure wounds, all that stuff. Yeah. So her strength is pretty low. Her con is pretty high. Let's go ahead and put it into strength if we get attributes, because that'll make it 14, so she'll get a +2. Skills, no. Okay, treat injury, and I guess that's it. Don't really care about awareness. Okay, force powers. She's got to be level 12 to get that second heal. Night speed, force shields. Knight Valor. Definitely want to get Master Valor. This ups the attributes for people. Could get Night Speed, but Affect Mind. Dominant Mind. Stun. Yeah, probably need to do like droid stuff. Stasis. No dark powers on her. We want to get like light side stuff. Don't really want any of these. I'm either going to get Night Speed or we get Stasis so we can use that on people. That's more crowd control there. Damaging. That might be kind of fun too. That's a universal power though. Let's just get stuff that's strictly light side stuff. Okay. That's fine there. How close am I to leveling? About 3,000 away. I don't remember what I put points into last time when we streamed. I know we leveled up and I got attribute points, but I think you get them every 4 levels, so I won't get one again until 16, so I don't have to worry about that, I guess. But I don't remember where I think I put it into strength, I think. So if I get another attribute point and I don't put it into intel, which I probably won't, because I'll get an attribute point at 16 and 20, and by that point it might be too late to get like the bonuses from the skill points. So I think I might just start putting points into dex. But I don't know, we'll see. Okay, let's go in here now. Go ahead and save it right here. So again, we're going to give the pearl to the chieftain, learn about the history. Once we learn about the history, we're going to slaughter them all, get our pearl back, loot everything that's in here, and then we're done in the desert sands of Tatooine. We just got to take care of business in the city, and then we're out of here. So, or at least less inclined to smash her head open like a pocky grub seed. Pocky grub seed.
Query, what do you wish to ask of him, Master?
I want information on the Sand People culture.
Protocol. This will be a very...
Yeah. Well, how do I give him the pearl, though?
Translation. You have been told that to be considered worthy of hearing the histories, you need to bring him a dragon pearl from a Krayt
we got
dragon. Translation. He says the discussion is closed until you fulfill this condition. He thinks you are just making fun of his traditions.
Here's the dragon pearl.
Translation. Translation. He is stupefied, Master. He never thought you could return with such an item. Such a thing has not been done in many years. Translation. He will allow you to meet the storyteller, but also gives a warning. If you dare to repeat the histories incorrectly, you will be killed. Translation. The storyteller will be summoned to one of the rooms here in the enclave. He seems to think this is a great honor for you, Master.
Okay. You'll be summoned in one of the rooms. All right.
Translation. Translation. We are free to leave.
So we lost the item. I'm not gonna save or anything. Just to make sure that I can get the pearl back after I learn about this and kill him. I'm assuming it's should happen. Oh wow, I walked right past it. Storyteller was literally in the same room. Well, actually, the exit. Okay. I'm curious to hear about the history, although I don't really care that much because I'm gonna slaughter y'all, but... Compared to the wars that you have encountered, the Sand People storyteller is relatively calm in his movements and speech, but he still regards you coldly.
Translation. He identifies himself as the storyteller, Master. He has been told of your warrior skills and will speak the history to you.
It's not a written history?
Translation. Translation. Theirs is an oral history, Master, an active part of their lives. It is only permitted to relay the tales face to face. Translation. A book or datapad can be taken away, cheapening the value of what it contains. To commit it to paper or storage is to remove it from the people.
Oral histories are often inaccurate.
Translation. Translation. He says that you dare not question the accuracy of his information. The stories are learned perfectly by each successive storyteller. Translation. In fact, they aren't allowed to speak the stories aloud unless they are exact. Any error is considered a blasphemy punishable by death. Criticism. It seems inefficient to me, Master. A score of apprentice storytellers would be slaughtered each generation. What if the elder died before completing the teachings?
It's a good question. Ask him that.
Translation.
I'll skip the translation parts.
Apprentices are trained from birth. Very few speak the words in error. Storytellers are most often lost in battle between tribes. Translation. Any tribe that loses its storyteller is obviously unworthy of existing. They lose their connection to history and destroy themselves with infighting soon after.
What topics can I choose from?
Translation. Translation. You may choose to hear the history, or you may choose not to. Their history is a single entity that cannot be partitioned.
So there are no...
The only exception is in continuing the tales once they have begun. If you leave, when you return, he will continue from where he left off.
Oh, okay. This might be a little bit of dialogue. I'm thinking maybe like at least like 15 minutes maybe of just non-stop chatting here, but we'll see. We'll see what he says. Begin the history.
Translation. Translation. It begins with the ancient times. They were not sand people, for there was no sand. The land was green with life, and they walked without wrappings. Translation. Though the land was beautiful, they lived apart from the land. They built their walls high and saw beyond the horizon. They dared to reach the stars. Translation. There are no words for how long ago this was. It was before the outsiders, before the abduction, before the cities fell, before the builders.
For the builders. I want to ask questions about what I've heard. So I guess there's like moments where you can pause and ask questions about what he's talking about beforehand. Let's do that.
Cautionary. I should warn you, Master, that any questioning of their interpretation may be seen as trying to change the meaning of what was said. Clarification. They may consider this to be speaking the words in error, a blasphemy they would attempt to kill you for.
Okay. Return to other questions or ask about ancient times?
Clarification. It would appear that they once had a thriving technologically advanced society, but were wiped out by a much more sophisticated alien species.
Really? Is there anything in the galactic record? No. Ask him if these builders resembled any modern species.
Translation. Translation. He only understands the builders as an iconic force meant to test the resolve of his people. He is not making sense, Master. Clarification. They claim their stories are repeated unchanged, but they have demonized these builders. In their minds, they wreaked such havoc they could not possibly be flesh and blood.
I wonder if they're the same builders of the Star Forge or the Star Maps that we learned about from the ancient droid on Tatooine. Wonder if they're the same builders or not. Ask if they have an image we could compare with current species. Probably the same results.
Cautionary. Master, this line of questioning may be interpreted as attempting to change the story. He may react poorly.
Alright, I won't ask it then. Can he clarify how long ago Tatooine was green with life?
Doubting. I don't believe he can, Master. Even if their stories are exact and unchanged, it is likely they were first told thousands of years after these events occurred. This has become very much like a creation myth for his people. There is no date. It simply was.
Is there anything in the galactic record that would verify this?
Negative. I am no library, but since there is no Republic record of this planet having sentient life before Zerka colonization, I doubt you will find such evidence.
I want to ask something about a different part of the history.
Cautionary. Remember. Obedient.
Okay, well, I guess just continue where we left off. There wasn't really much that we gained from that other than HK telling me, you should probably not ask this, or he answered the questions that I had.
Translation. Translation. His arrogant people touched the stars, and this sin drew the attention of the builders. The builders did not touch the stars, they lashed them to millstones. Translation. Great demons of metal stripped the world of its riches until all that was left was the green of the ground. The great cities were lifted away. Translation. Those that had used the wealth were taken along with it. Transgressors abducted to serve past the sky, seeding the stars with penitent, adaptable slaves.
It definitely sounds like the same people that made the Star Forge.
Cautionary.
I want to ask questions about the time of enslavement.
Clarification. I believe they were occupied by this technologically superior species for a substantial period. Stripping an entire planet of usable resources would have taken generations.
How many people were taken off world?
Translation. Translation. He has no number. He claims that those that were taken were examples of the worst of his kind, arrogant and uncaring of the land. Doubtful. Master, this is just another distortion due to their demonization of the builders. It's like claiming an aspect of his people were taken, not actual individuals. Clearly, history has colored his view. Of course, only the inferior meatbags were taken. The remaining were his ancestors, after all. It must have been special.
Suggest that he rethink it? Nah, I don't want to cause any trouble. Not yet. I want to be the one that strikes him down. Why would the invaders have done this?
Obvious. The same reason Zerka Corporation is attempting it now. Expanding empires need tremendous amounts of resources.
Okay. Continue the history?
Translation. Translation. There came a time when the builders were also judged for their crimes. After generations, a plague weakened them, and the time of the Great War began. Translation. The builders faltered, and his people realized why they had been punished, so that they understood the crime, and would now strike down the greater offender. Translation. They worked chaos in the machines, so they destroyed themselves. The builders fought back, laying waste to the green that had been misused with fire from above. Translation. Soil became glass, grinding to sand, but the fight was long planned, and his people were safe. Deep in cave homes carved from valley wall, they were free.
Also, I've noticed this every time that HK has been translating for us, and when he's translating to English for us, he's also able to speak the Sand People language out loud so the Sand People can hear what he's saying. And while we can faintly hear it when he speaks English to us, we're getting the translation the loudest. So he's like kind of speaking. There's two different sounds coming out of HK when he's doing this. It's pretty cool.
Cautionary.
Great War.
Clarification. The occupying force suffered some sort of species-wide plague that lowered their numbers over time. His people
He only
used
does it
this
when he's
extended
translating.
weakness to sabotage their larger ships. The response of the builders appears to have been to lay waste to the entire surface of Tatooine.
Okay. How could they repel such a powerful species?
Doubting. They didn't, Master. They struck a blow. But the storyteller only believes they won because the builders were gone when they emerged from their caves. That does not mean they defeated anyone. It seems clear that the builders simply sterilized their problem and left. The enemy judged them not worthy to fight.
Ask him if this is a possibility.
Cautionary. Master, this...
Alright, I won't say it. What kind of weapon could do so much damage?
Clarification. I may not have properly conveyed how long they fought with the builders. Given time, any number of armaments could destroy a world. Hypothesis. Perhaps this is another distortion. Their climate may have begun to fail due to their unrestrained development even before the builders arrived. Looking back thousands of years later, such a shift could easily be attributed to the much-hated conquerors.
How could they have survived such an attack?
Hypothesis. If his people were moving away from technology for a long time under the builders, they may have had extensive cave systems that could grant shelter. I would also suggest that, given the evidence of the massive shift in the nature of their society, most of them did not survive.
Okay, let's go back and
Oh,
hear more story.
translation.
The conclusion.
Entity, if I may, Master. This section of his tale details several millennia of the Long Walk, their nomadic wanderings as they accept their identity in a desert world. Rather than strain my circuits on his dialect, might we just assume there was much fighting over who has the biggest bantha and move on to more recent things?
It's like, yeah, nothing really interesting happened after that. Just, let's skip through that. Sure, sure. No, I want to hear it all. I'm curious. What happens if he says this?
Resignation. Very well, Master.
Several hours later.
Translation. The tribes spread far, distant from each other, but all as sand people and all cherished the land that remained. The sand would not be misused. Translation. Then machines fell from the stars again, outsiders like you that brazenly walked apart from the land. And greater still was the insult to come. Translation. These outsiders reminded them of their past transgression, of the time when they too walked apart from land. The outsiders, your kind, looked like their ancient abducted. Translation. So it is to the current sons that the Sand People hate all outsiders and give them no footing. You come again, time after time, adaptable slaves to the machine.
Is there anything further?
Editing. The last 1,000 years are full of conflicts with different groups of attempted planetary settlers, all of whom are poorly described, long dead, and likely untraceable. I believe I have truncated it down to the usable bits in what was already said. I hope it is enough, Master.
Well, I guess that's it, unless we can ask him questions about the long walk. That was the last thing that we needed to ask about.
Impatience. Master, I refuse to inconvenience you with this. He spouted names of petty tribal fights in deserts so distant they might as well be across the galaxy. Really, Master,
It's not
I'm
important.
sure it's important to him, but it has nothing of value that you could ever put to use.
We'll have to discuss this impudence, HK.
Agreement. Of course, Master. Just no more of their inane wandering.
Okay, so that's pretty much it then. The most exciting thing was just hearing about them being slaves to the builders or whatnot, which lines up with what the ancient droid said. So those builders that made the Starforge and all that interacted with them all those years ago. Hundreds of years, thousands of years, I don't know.
Obedient.
Where we left off? I think we're done.
Translation. Translation. The tribes spread far, distant from each other, but all as sand people and all cherished the land.
I think we're actually done.
The sand would not be misused. Translation. 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 So it is to the current sun.
Yeah. So that's it then. Okay.
Translation. Translation. We are free to leave.
Dang, we didn't even get... It didn't even, change, I don't think. Worthy of history. It didn't even say, like, give us a summary of what it said or whatnot.